Wrestle 3.
Hard time!
WrestleMania.
Yes.
The entire Guerrero family is known for being great wrestlers, but Eddie was the greatest. He wasn't just the greatest Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero is possibly the greatest wrestler ever. Eddie Guerrero was a sensei, a master. He was better, he's better.
Let's watch some crazy stuff, yo!
Better than Bret Hart.
I lie, I cheat,
He's the greatest.
I steal. We're gonna put Eddie Guerrero definitely right
Jeez,
there.
Rick, oh my God!
I gotta go with my boy the Hulkster. I gotta go with the Hulkster.
Wait a minute, Rick. I thought this was a commercial. What's going on? I mean,
Don't worry about it. Let's just see where this goes.
Bro, hey, fucking Eddie Guerrero came out in a lowrider, bro.
Yeah, bro. I was gonna say maybe, of course.
John Cena.
Yeah, John Cena, The Rock. There's a lot of them out there.
Fuck The Rock, bro. You shitting me?
The People's Champ. I'm my dog. People, what you mean? The People's Champ.
No, you the people's champ. I ain't fucking with The Rock.
We the original people. Well, Muhammad Ali, of course, the original.
You could say Ali was the people's champ. You could say The Rock is the people's champ. You could say DDP was the people's champ. You could say Paul Wall is the people's champ. But I say Eddie Guerrero was the people's champion. Just ask any fan. Eddie Guerrero is absolutely the greatest ever.
Thank you, Eddie, for all the memories.
Viva la raza!
I never told him. I wish I could have. But like I said, I was good, but I think he was better than I was. Eddie was the master. He became a master. He became a sensei. Yes.
Rest in peace, Eddie.
Just upgraded our cable package with programming from every conceivable reality.
Let's watch some crazy stuff, yo!
Mom, I promise one day I'ma stop. I'ma grow up and be an astronaut. I'm on a Mexican radio. Everybody knows that my back is not dry. If you say it is, you a damn lie. Rolling through life like a tumbleweed.
Each Guerrero is different in their own way. But when it comes down to the Guerrero name and the legacy, all of them are kind, very warm-hearted individuals that when it comes down to caring and stretching out a hand for you, it was there. And I'm talking wrestling against Mondo Guerrero at age of 16. So I got to meet him or be around him, at a very young age, way before Eddie. So if you would have told me back then that I was going to have a feud with Eddie, now I would have said, you crazy. So just being around Mondo and then being around Eddie and then being around Chavo Sr., rest in peace, and then Chavo Jr., at the end of the day, they all have something that's very common and unique. And besides the Guerrero last name, the fact that, like I said, they'll stretch out that hand when you need it most. They all like to fight. They all like to stand up for what they believe. And it's in their blood, man. It's in their DNA. Two qualities. And put the joke that you would think you would put on him back in your face with a smile on his.
Eddie was just amazing. He could do anything. He could give you a range of emotion. You can laugh, you could cry, you could be angry at him. You could feel a whole range of emotion, and when Eddie went out there to perform, he just stole your heart. He really did. He could hold that audience in the palm of his hand, and he loved everybody. He loved that audience, and I hope everybody knows that.
You gotta learn a lesson.
Eddie Guerrero catches her, and Eddie Guerrero decides in that point in time
that Lita must die because he
plants her on the floor with one of the grossest power bombs and the grossest sounding power bombs that I've ever heard. And it just...
Oh, almighty!
And they're, what is this? Fall the dishonest Floyd. Eddie Guerrero has done it again. Yeah, we should have expected something like this. I can't believe he's actually glued these world-class runners to their starting blocks.
What?
But a guy that you are really close with, right, is Eddie Guerrero. I asked you beforehand, on Raw, who were you closest with, and you said over the years Eddie Guerrero, without question. Yeah, tell me about his fall and his comeback. So let's take it in order. First, he had a fall.
Eddie, he had a few accidents. He had some vehicle accidents along with what we do to our bodies, and with the pain medication and whatnot, and between that and the alcohol, he consumed him, as a person, and became a bad habit that he couldn't control, and then he fell. I mean, if anyone has ever fallen as deep, I've never seen anyone fall as deep as he has, and I was very concerned for him. But he's the most influential person that I've ever met in my life because of the comeback that he has made within himself and what's around his life, within the people in his life. I mean, yeah, it's amazing. I mean, he's put everything back together. He's very, very happy, very focused, very at peace with himself right now.
What made you go to rehab?
It was an ultimatum: go to rehab or be fired. I didn't want to go in. I went kicking and screaming. It's probably one of the best things that's happened.
How did things go while you were there?
Great. I did what I was supposed to do. Got through the program.
Were you 100% ready to return?
Obviously, I wasn't, because I went out again.
I was going to ask you if you could describe the incident where you got the DUI charge.
Man, I don't want to play my violin here. I've been doing that for 7 months now. I'm just feeling sorry for myself. I don't want to feel sorry for myself anymore. I want to take responsibility for what I did. I got hooked on the painkillers. I went to rehab. They gave me an opportunity. They paid all the rehab. They paid my bills while I was gone. Never stopped sending a check. WWF was very faithful to that. And they even gave me a chance to come back. I was working out, and they already had storylines. I think I was going to start going with Lita and Jeff again and Matt, into that same storyline. It just, what took me out, I guess, it's just a lot of personal issues. A lot of personal issues that I've been dealing with for a long time. This is really the second time I went, I did anything after rehab. I was clean 5 months, and I drank one night, and then I stopped and went back. And then that night, the second night I drank, obviously I got caught with a DUI. I guess the divorce issues had a big strain on me. Being rejected, I guess, because it wasn't me that wanted the divorce. It was her. A lot of financial issues that I don't care to go into because I'm not so much at fault on that. Like 3 big things at once, getting out of rehab, trying to stay sober, going through divorce, financial issues, living alone when I've been living, I had 11 years of marriage, and before that I was living with my mom and dad. I really was never alone. The thing of not being able to see my kids a lot, which I'm very close to, has had a big effect on me. And I can give all the excuses in the world and try and justify what I did, but the bottom line is, it was wrong, obviously. It's no excuse to get drunk. It's no excuse to get out of myself. That's what an addict does. That's what we do best, is try and numb the pain with somebody else or with something else. And I guess at that time, in my state of mind, that's what I wanted to do, was just get out of myself. And obviously I can't do it normally. I gotta take it to the extreme, which is my addictive personality, So yeah, no excuses. I screwed up. bad. And now I'm paying the consequences. And I'll tell you something. It's that DUI and me being let go from WWF. Sometimes I kick myself in the ass. And sometimes now I'm realizing it's probably the best thing that happened to me for my personal sight and insight on it, and especially for my spiritual insight, because I've always been a spiritual person. And maybe since 98, 99, I just totally was withdrawn from my spirituality with, I believe in Christ, and, you know, I'm a Christian, and I've always had a relationship with him, and I got away from that during those years. And it's unfortunate that it takes these bad things in my life to get back to where I am and spiritually, but I haven't had this kind of peace in a long time. You know, and there's no money, no material, no person, not even my children, that can cure that pain and that emotional distress that I was in. Just the understanding of my God, you know, the understanding of Christ, and that I believe in. And that's the only thing that where I find peace, and that's where I'm back at, you know.
Right.
And you know, when I got fired, man, I thought it was gonna be the end of the world. I didn't know what I was gonna do, man. I didn't know I was gonna pay the bills.
Right.
I didn't know I was gonna pay the bills. I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't know I was still gonna be able to make a living wrestling, you know. And God's opening the doors up in so many ways, you know. And it's just it's a big experience for me, man. But I'll tell you something, WWF isn't the one. There's a lot more out there than that, and I'm seeing it again.
Now, did you think that the WF would let you go?
I knew they were.
Right.
I've always had a sixth sense. You can ask Chavo Jr. about this one of these days. He'll tell you. Even when I talked to one of the agents, I don't want to name names,
right,
but I talked to one of the agents, and they said, no, you're not going to be fired, but this is it. You got to really straighten up. And I was in Cincinnati that Monday, and I got a message from that certain agent. And they had talked to the people on top, obviously. And they called back and left a message on my phone while I was at the gym. And I knew it. I knew it when I got the message, so I called back, and sure enough, they said I was terminated. And it was hard, man. It was hard to hear. It was just blew my mind.
Did they leave the door open? Because obviously Steve Regal had his problems in the past, and he had to go back and prove himself. He went to Memphis and stuff. Do you think the door's left open for you to return?
I don't know. Never say never. You know what, though? I'm not going to put my hopes and ambitions on them. No way. Because that's what I did before. You know, and like I said, it's not them that screwed this up. It's me. This is my doing. I'm not blaming them at all. Whether I'm going to ever go back to them, maybe. But you know what? I don't have to prove nothing to them. I've heard that, well, if you prove yourself, you can come back. You know who I got to prove it to? God and myself. I mean, I'm staying sober right now because there's nothing holding me back now. I got no job issues, no legal issues except the DUI, you know, that can keep me from going out. This time, right now, as of today, and since the DUI, I've been staying sober, first of all, one step at a time, one day at a time, by the graces of God. And with a lot of help from friends and a program, you know. And I'm doing it this time because I want to stay sober for me. For me. I've noticed that when I can't speak for anybody else. I'm just speaking for Eddie Guerrero. When I do these things, bad things happen. Even when I don't mean to go hurt anybody, because, you know, thank God I didn't. I don't want to hurt anybody. Even when I just wanted to be on my own and just do it by myself, bad things happen. I don't know why, just bad things happen. To me, that's God telling me, hey, dummy, I don't want you doing this. So it's more now not just for job issues and stuff like that. Yeah, all that ties into it. But the main thing for me right now is me now. It's for me now, for God and me.
Eddie Guerrero, vaya con Dios, mi amigo.
Finally, he had gotten over that, at least as far as I knew. I mean, I don't. He was. Oh yeah, it seemed like he was pretty legit, clean, and sober. 4 years sober, bro. 4 years.
Yeah, large heart failure at 38 years old.
Do you think that's because of all the drugs that caught up to him?
Absolutely. They say, because of you've seen it time and time again in this business. The worst drugs, and I don't care what they are, it's not steroids, it's not alcohol, it's not cocaine, it's not marijuana. The worst things are the pills.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen everybody that we know that have died has been from those pills.
That's true, yeah.
And it's a quick release. We're hurt. It's easy for us to it's easy to us to justify using that because if anybody needs them, we need them. We need a Vicodin. We need this. But then it's so easy to start abusing that stuff, and that's where that was Eddie's vice. So he fought every day to stay off those. He really did. But they say with Vicodins and somas and all that stuff was that it gives a lot of scar tissue on your heart because you abuse them so much. And we've seen it with Umaga and so many different people who died from heart failure and heart troubles and because of those pills. So that's kind of what happened to him. And the story really, he and I were. We were flying to Minneapolis. We were all home. This is the first day of the tour, and we were going to Europe.
Was it a pay-per-view in Minneapolis?
It was a dual show, like I was SmackDown and Raw.
Okay, so you're going to Europe.
Yeah, doing both shows in Minneapolis, and then we're going to go straight to Europe. So everybody was there. So I get in the plane. Eddie had already moved to Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
So I get on the plane, and I'm in coach, and he's in first class. Well, I get on and I'm in coach. The door's getting ready to close, and I see Eddie. He was always the last one. He was on Mexican time always. And I say that
shoulders slumped.
Yeah, and I say that with all due respect.
Of course.
Everybody knows
Mexican time.
What Mexican time is. Yeah. So he runs on the plane, and right before the doors closed, and he gets on, and I go, "Hey," and he goes, "Hey, what's up, man? I didn't know you were going to be on this plane." So he gives up his first class seat and comes back with me. So we hung out and stayed together. It was like just a treat, it really was to sit next to each other. And we were on different shows at the time, so we didn't see each other all that much.
Right.
So we sat next to each other and we were watching a movie, and he looks at me and he's talking and stuff, and he kind of nods off as he's talking to me. I say, "Oh man, he's really tired," And then he kind of wakes up and like, "Oh, hey," and kind of goes. We went and watching a movie together, and we get to Minneapolis. I didn't think anything of it. We get to Minneapolis, and we go to check in at one of the Marriott.
Yeah, the one by the airport,
right by the Target Center. No, the one by the Target Center.
Oh, okay.
That everybody was staying at. So we go there, and and I was like, "Hey, man, we used to room together, all the time." And we decided, "Hey, we'll just get our own rooms." Okay, no problem. So we're checking in, and as we're there, we see Michael Hayes. Michael Hayes comes up to us, and he's not Michael Hayes anymore. He's Freebird. He's a Freebird. He's been drinking, hanging out.
He's the beer wolf.
Yeah. And he kind of mad dogs Eddie. And I didn't really notice it, but
What
Eddie,
do you mean, mad dog?
Mad dogs. He kind of stared him down.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Stared him down, but I didn't really notice it, and Eddie didn't. Eddie, after Michael leaves, goes back to the bar. Eddie stops and looks at me and goes, "Did you see what that mofo did?" So what do you mean? Yeah, he's staring at me. I'm like staring at you? Like, he's like, yeah. Eddie's pissed, and I said, "All right, what do you want to do? You want to go beat him up?" Because we were just, if he's going to get in a fight, I'm going to get in a fight, and vice versa.
Right.
So he's like, "Nah, we'll give him a pass." I said, "Okay." So we literally gave him a pass. So the night before Eddie died, really, Michael Hayes didn't know how close he was to getting beat up. Literally, we were going to go in there and drag him out and beat him up. So we said, "Okay, hey, man, well, let's, why don't we, go work out in the morning?" And just as we got there, we see Chris Benoit. And Benoit goes, "Hey, man, what's up, guys? Hey, we're going to bed, but we're going to train 8 a.m. Let's meet down for breakfast, 8 a.m. We'll go train before the show. We always did. And then we're going to go to Target Center." Okay, great, no problem. So I go to my room. Eddie goes to his room. Well, then I get a call from Eddie, my cell phone. He says, "Hey, man, can I talk to you?" And I say, "Yeah, what's going on, man?" And he goes, I just really I got to talk to you." I said, "Okay, hold on. Let me run downstairs real quick. Let me take care of some stuff downstairs." I don't know if I was, getting an extra key or whatever I was doing. So I went downstairs, and then I call Eddie to his room, 5-8 minutes later, and I go, "Hey, man, you want to talk?" And he goes, nah, I'm okay. I'm cool. And I said, are you sure? Let's talk. And he goes, nah, I'm cool, man. I'm okay. I'm bro. I'm here. He's like, no, I'm good. I'm good. I said, all right, man. Well, I'll see you in the morning. We'll go work out. Okay, cool. No problem. I think I had a beer. Then went to bed. I was going to wake up and go work out. And at 7 a.m., I got a call from one of the security guards in the hotel. He says, Chavo, yeah, hey, this is security in the hotel. I'm like, all right. Why are you calling me? He goes, well, your uncle is, I don't know how he knew we were there, or I was there. He wasn't there that night. I guess the word got around, whatever. And he goes, your uncle's passed out. I said, passed out? He goes, yeah, he's passed out in the bathroom. And I'm thinking, the bathroom? And we had just talked on the plane that Eddie was sober for 4 years. So I was like, passed out? Did he have a relapse? Oh, no. Come on. Really?
But also, how would the guy know it's 7 a.m?
I was like, how? So he's passed out in the bathroom. I'm thinking he's passed out in the bathroom in the lobby. Or something like that. So I go, okay, I'll be right down. And the security guard goes, no, I'll come to your room. So he comes up to my room. And he comes, gets me. I'm still half out of it, and we got in late the night before. So I'm coming down, and he takes me to Eddie's room. I said, what do you mean his room? So I guess he explained to me that Eddie had missed a couple wake-up calls.
Yeah.
So they went to knock on his door, and the latch was on his door. Well, so whenever that happens, they're knocking, no answer. They cut the latch off. So as I open up, the latch is already cut off. And I walk in, and I see Eddie face down in the bathroom. He's face down. I mean, just like, and I looked at him kind of like, still thinking, well, wait a minute. I'm still coming to my senses. And I'd seen Eddie passed out from, drinking or pills or whatever it was, 20 times in my life.
Right.
But of course, this was years and years before. So when I looked at him, I'm like, anybody else, I mean, if I would have seen, just any random person, I'd be like, you're passed out. What the heck? Let me get him up. So I see Eddie's down. I'm like, okay, let me assess the situation. What's going on? So I put my hand by his nose, and there's no breath, but I hear a couple gurgling noises. And then I go, this isn't right. I'm feeling him. He's warm. He's warm. He's not like, I'm like, okay, this isn't right. Let's pull him out. So I talked to the security guard, and we pull him out and turn him around. And so as soon as I see his face, when we turn around, I said, I start panicking. Okay, this really isn't right. Call 911 now. And so they're calling, 911, and we're giving them, mouth to mouth CPR, and I'm freaking out. I'm yelling at him, going, Eddie, stay with me. Come on, Eddie, come on. Basically,
you think he was still alive?
He was still alive because he was warm.
Wow.
And then I saw him go from warm to cold. He died right there.
Wow.
Right there. And, they called 911, the ambulance came, and, they were giving him CPR and everything their way, and they're just like, he's gone. And I was like, what if I would have got here, an hour before? Yeah. And usually we room together. We didn't room together. And they were like, no, they said he had, something already. He would have been gone no matter what. I'm like what? So now I'm sitting here with my brother dying basically in my arms, going, I was in shock. I was like in shock. And then I had to go back to my room and call people. I'm like, well, I didn't know who to call.
Who did you call?
I'm like, who do I call? I think I called home. I'm freaking out. I'm like, oh my God. So I called Fit Finley.
Like, why Fit and not Dean or Chris?
Well, I didn't want to wake up Chris. Fit was an agent.
Yeah.
So I wanted him to get the word to, what's going on, to Vince and everybody. I don't have Vince's cell phone, I'm not like you. I wasn't the champ. So he goes around and makes some, I get some calls, and all of a sudden I'm in my hotel room just sitting on the bed like what the heck just happened? And then I get a call from Chris Benoit. Goes, hey, where are you? I'm downstairs. We're supposed to meet at 8:00 to go work out and eat breakfast. And I'm like, Chris, sit down. Are you sitting down? He goes, yeah. So I told Chris, and Chris was like, I never heard somebody wail like that, like this deep moan, like, oh, like I just, punched him in the stomach and stole his soul. That's what it felt like, and I was like, and he was yelling and screaming, and just deep. Whoa, no. So, and then from there, I mean, I had to go back to the room.
No! Oh, shit! Say it again. Say something else. something else. Say something else.
Then Vince McMahon and Triple H, Shawn Michaels came over, and Vince is asking, "What do I do? Do we go on with this show?" And I was like, "Absolutely, you go on with this show. You don't cancel the show." I was like, "Yeah, you go on with the show." I go, "That's what Eddie would have wanted to do. He wouldn't want everybody here." And Eddie knew. We were always taught that you always have to, give the people their money's worth, no matter what. They're there to see you in this, this economy. They don't have a lot of money, and they're choosing to spend it on you. It's your obligation to give them their money's worth.
Yeah.
It really, really is. So I looked at Vince. I said, "Yeah, if you cancel the show, then he'd be pissed. That's not what he wanted." So they went ahead and made a tribute show to Eddie. And I mean, completely rewritten. Totally different. But then, that we had to deal with all that stuff and go to.
Did you have to go to Europe, or were you able to?
No,
go to the funeral? I don't
So
remember.
I went.
Yeah.
When we did that show, they said, "Of course, Chavo, we don't. You can go home." I said, "No, I want to wrestle."
What?
I bring forth to you the champion, a man that's so outstanding, the captain has landed.
Rose? Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Running through this life like it was mine. Never settling, but setting every goal high. 1,000 burpees on the path to my own destruction are success. But what is a mistake without the lesson? See, the best teacher in life is your own experience. None of us know who we are until we fail. They say every man is defined by his reaction to any given situation.
Well, who would you want to define you? Someone else or yourself?
Is it worth it?
Oh, yeah, it's worth it. If you're strong enough.
I would like the Babalito burrito with achy flaky salsa fries, 2 torolito tacos, a freaky frijole combo with extra carne asada, hold the casabasa sacas.
Shut the fuck! Shut! Did I say? No! Oh shit! Say it again. Say something else. Oh! Say something else. Say something else.
Oh shit! Just have a heart, Mr. Joker. Please, it's Friday, man. I know what fucking day it is. Oh shit!
Next time I have an idea like that, punch me in the face.
Shut the fuck! Shut! Did I say? No! Oh shit! Say it again. Say something else. Oh! Say something else. Say something else.